Ladies and gentlemen, rock fans, aficionados, welcome to Mount Olympus, the god place of all the rock gods of the reviewer world. That's us, and we're making it up. Welcome to Paul, welcome to Trish, welcome to Chris, welcome to Dave, welcome to Ian, welcome to Musical People and Journeys, the new album rock review show. So, what's the show about? We are reviewing the latest rock albums, tell you what we think, give our ratings out of 5 for our listening pleasure, and see if they get into our Hall of Fame, will they? Or into maybe our Album of the Year show. Will they do it or will they not do it? First up today, well, not first up, but today's show is Imagine Dragons and their album Loom, if you don't know Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons are an American pop rock band formed in 2008, based in Las Vegas, and currently consists of lead singer Dan, guitarist Wayne, bassist Ben, and the band gained exposure with their release of single This Time, followed by their debut album Night Visions, which resulted in chart-topping singles Radioactive, and Demons. Rolling Stone named Radioactive, which held the record for the most weeks charted on Billboard Hot 100, the biggest rock hit of the year. They called them the year's biggest breakout band. The Billboard named their breakthrough band of 2002 the biggest band of 2017, and placed them at the top of their year in rock rankings of 2013, 17 and 18. Imagine Dragons topped the Billboard Year-End Top Artist Duo Group category in 2018. The band's second studio album, Smoke and Mirrors, reached number 1 in the US, Canada and UK, and this followed their third studio album, Evolve, which resulted in 3 chart-topping singles, Believer, Thunder, and Whatever It Takes. Will they have Whatever It Takes this time around? We have actually their returning artist, Mercury Act, got 3.4 from us, so will it continue with that trend? Paul, I remember you enjoyed Mercury Act 2. I remember it was kind of a profound album, wasn't it? What do you think of Loom?
Well, Imagine Dragons have moved away from being a stadium rock-based band to a pop band. This cannot be more clearly demonstrated with the new album Loom, a 32-minute pop romp. Essentially, when compared to the 2022 double album, Acts 1 and 2, this is a 10-track album that is more lively, but feels blunt and predictable. And at the end of the day, I think Imagine Dragons have lost their imagination. It's just not a good album.
Wow. Paul, that's a bit of a shock. Trish, what do you think? What do you think about Imagine Dragons?
Right, I loved the upbeat Wake Up opening with a good old Imagine Dragons banger of a song to get started and a distinct sound. This is Imagine Dragons not deviating or trying something new, keeping to their bread and butter sound. I really enjoyed this album, so much so I couldn't actually pick a favourite track. It's easy to listen to and makes you feel good, to which my score will reflect this enjoyment. However, it will lose half a mark because I don't class it as a rock album.
Ooh, Mr. Kelly, a fan? Not a fan?
So I've heard of Imagine Dragons mostly for the songs that you mentioned before. So Believer, Radioactive, Whatever It Takes, all that sort of stuff. And so I know them for individual songs, but they haven't been enough to sort of take me back and listen to any of the previous albums. And I wasn't in the podcast when you did Act 2 from a couple of years ago. And I kind of agree with Trish. I wouldn't have classed this as a rock album because there's a bit more dance, a bit more sort of pop in there, and there's a whole load of rap in there too. But having said that, I did enjoy it. If you had told me that they had collaborated with Eminem for parts of Wake Up, just in sort of some of the sound of the way that they're singing and some of the wordplay that they've got as part of the track, I wouldn't have argued with you because I kind of got shades of that. I just put him in my mind. There's some nice catchy riffs and phrases that they that sort of pulled me into it, and in the end I did just kind of really enjoy it, and I am going to be looking into some of their back catalogue. I know that they have, as Paul said, they have gone for a slightly different sound, and they've gone a bit more to the popular side of it, but it's definitely going to be something to take me and have me take a listen to some of their other stuff as well.
Wow, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much the same. I've never heard an album of theirs before. I definitely have heard tracks, but again, nothing that would make me go and listen to an album. So I'm glad I did, because I really enjoyed this as well. It's one that I'm going to need to listen to a bit more to really sort of see where I completely fall on it, because it's not a rock album, but I mean, everyone's sort of touched on that already, so we just sort of leave that. But it is really interesting. There's some interesting styles in there. One particular track was Eyes Closed. I love that. That's made it onto my playlist. I mean, that's getting quite a lot of playtime. So, yeah, I mean, it's one that I will continue to go back and listen to. I will have a listen to some of their back catalogue as well, I think, off the back of this, because it was a really enjoyable album. But as I say, I need to give it a few more listens before I can exactly tell you where it falls. So my mark, I think, will reflect that somewhat.
Ian, fan? Not a fan?
I like what I've heard from Imagine Dragons before, but I absolutely, this isn't a rock album. I'm really torn, because on one hand I kind of like some of the tracks. It's not really my thing, so it's really hard. Do I actually judge on what I hear, or do I judge on the fact that it's not a rock album and it's about our listening pleasure? My listening pleasure is rock albums. I mean, Paul gave Bon Jovi before 1.5, and that is definitely a rock album. Maybe country rock, it may be soft rock, it may be quite generic, but yeah, it's not a rock album. I like some of it, but I couldn't really get into it, because what it does is, especially when you listen to it randomly, you then listen to another track afterwards that is rock, and it kind of makes that sound really good, even if it's a track you don't like, a rock track you don't like, because Imagine Dragons isn't actually rock. So my score would definitely reflect the fact that it's just not a rock album, so I couldn't really do anything with it. I didn't feel I wanted to.
I love the Imagine Dragons sound. I do. I like the mixture of pop, of rock, of hip hop. I do. It's something that resonates with me. That I just like it. I like the sound of his voice, everything as well. Mercury Act 1 and 2 was at some points kind of very deep, and he was on a journey, and I felt that this is almost exercising that he's been through that, and he just wanted to do, or they wanted to do something that was a bit more lighter and a lot more fun. And I think if you've kind of gone on that journey, I personally think this was a lot more joyous album in that sense, and didn't really take away. There were some meaningful tracks in there, or some lyrics in there as well. Thoroughly enjoyed Wake Up, liked it, and it was more poppy, but there are elements of rock. There are elements of rock in there. There's no two ways about it. And this is a journey, and we call it a new rock review show, but our bands are titled as rock, so I don't know if they're going to be rock. I can't tell that as well. But I thought this was not as good as Mercury Act 1 and 2, because I enjoyed that darker side of it, that more meaningful side of things. But I did enjoy the album, and I liked the sound. So whether it was a rock album or not, I did enjoy it. So, but there we go. Let's find out our votes then. So let's start then. Paul, what do you give Imagine Dragons?
I give them, I thought, a very generous 2.
Trish?
4.5.
Chris?
4 from me.
Dave?
It's a 3 from me, but it's probably will end up being higher potentially. But
okay, Ian?
It's a 1 from me, just because it's not rock and it's not really my kind of music. So I was really torn, because I don't like scoring people down, but it's about music pleasure, right? And
no, absolutely. It's your album, it's your cup of tea. I give this a 5. No, I didn't. I give it a 4. Just wanted to see Paul's faces. One up there. Mercury Act scored 3.4. This got 3.5. So decent score. 161st 43rd of the year. Didn't get into a Hall of Fame, but a kind of decent score. So, well done there. All right, okay. Thank you very much. Do you agree? Do you think Imagine Dragons is a rock album, not a rock album? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What do you think? Leave your comments below. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And cheerio from Paul, from Trish, to Chris, to Dave, and to Ian. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.